Good morning everybody. In this video I'd like to show you where I left off yesterday. As you saw, I made this stamping hammer, and I've actually trimmed the top up there and finished it now, and it looks quite nice with the contrasting ebony and holly in there in the wedged area. So that's that one finished. Those black lines, by the way, and they're made just by cutting two little grooves in and then using a piece of plain wire stretched over the top, and then as it's turning you burn those lines in with the wire. You just hold it over the top. So I'll show you the different shapes I've actually made for the new hammer I made. You've got varying different profiles. That one there has a dimple in it there. It's this third one. Don't know what it'll come in for, but it may. I'm just inventing shapes. And there's a rounded waisted one, and a more pointed one, and a more flat one on there, and another profiled shape which is slightly different to that one as well. So they all come in handy. And there's a few more blanks there I've cut this morning to make some more, but I'll also make some for the other little one as well, because it's so easy to turn this stuff. It's literally like turning soft butter, PTFE. So what I'm on with this morning is turning steel, believe it or not. This is tool steel, to make some more metal inserts for putting patterns on silver and copper and things. So I will show you how I do that. And to do that, I've converted this Robert Sorby high-speed steel beading parting tool, they're called. And what you do to turn metals, you take off the point, which looks, I'll show you a conventional one which hasn't been altered. There's a conventional one which I've just sharpened this morning, and what you do, you turn it from a beading parting shape, which is that one there, into, and you grind across the face. So you're making a triangle basically from corner to corner, if you can see that, and that gives you a much more acute angle. So when you're actually cutting the metal, it acts like almost like a metalwork tip would, and you can do that, and you can do that down the sides, using it in all different angles. You can cut along that way, or that way, or that way. You can use it in multiple directions, and each direction you turn the chisel, you get a more and more acute angle. That one's almost upright, that one's less of an angle, and that one there would go down the side. You could use it like that, using that very straight edge at the side for down the front. That's called a graving tool, invented by a wonderful old gentleman in the 17th century called Holtz-Apfel. If anybody knows what Holtz-Apfel treadle lathes are, they made some of the most wonderful machine turn stuff, you know, hundreds of years ago. So just having an electric motor doesn't mean you're any better today. Far from it, actually. So I like to go into the old techniques. So the next part of the video, I'll show you how I turn this spigot down to fit inside the hammerhead. And it is harder, and you need the lathe on the slowest speed so you don't heat up the tool, and you take your time. So I'll pause the video for a sec, and I'll be back in a tick. So I'm back again, and just to recap on this beading parting tool conversion, I'll show you the two side by side. That one has its point still on, and then the other one, this one, is ground across from corner to corner in a diamond, so you're taking away that tip, so you're left with a flat surface like that. So you can see the two, that's a conventional one and that's the converted one, and you get that diamond shape from corner to corner there, from that corner to this corner, and that enables you to turn harder metals as well as wood, brass and steel as well, as you're going to see just in a second or so. So I'm going to use it using the flat. As you can see, it's very, very sharp. So just very, very gently work at it and you get a nice finish. You hear the rest chatter in there. That's because it's not tight enough. It's extremely tight when you're doing metal. And you can also use it in a shaving motion like this. So there we are with the final polish, and it now fits the hammer, nice slide fit. So that'll be one spigot for one end. A lot of work, but it can be done, can be achieved. So the next thing I need to do is part that off there with what I use an angle grinder, and turn the electric on, and then I'll cut it off in a motion whilst the lathe is running and the grinder's running. And just before you cut right through, leave a little spigot there. It's quite warm there, so I'll get a cloth in my hand. and just break it off, and that's how I bead and part them off. Next stage is to put the final shape onto the front. Best to do it on the slower speed actually. I turned it up the speed just to do the final polishing of the spigot, but turn it down for doing the metal turning. You get a much better finish. So that's the basic shape done. Then all I have to do now is finally polish that just before hardening, which would be the next part of the process. So I will go ahead now and polish up to a mirror shine before I harden it, and it makes it polishing it up later much easier. So I'll do that bit next.